general business, 8A, Mitch Boyum, please come forward, sir.
And Chief?
And our police chief. Department of Natural Resources Conservation Officer will attend the meeting to discuss various options available to the city regarding the control of the deer population within the city limits. The city has adopted an ordinance regulating the feeding of deer, but wishes to explore controlling the hunting as well, controlled hunting as well. The attached staff report includes information from November 2012 and a sample of a program and ordinance adopted for Red Lake, Minnesota. Police Chief Adam Hyde is also here. Welcome.
We asked Mitch and Chief to be here in case council has any specific questions or just questions of a general nature. We're gonna need to move fairly quick at this if we intend to do this during the normal hunting season, which I think starts, does it start in September?
Yep.
First bow season.
Archery, yeah.
So what I did for the council is I reviewed the information that we started working on back in 2012, some of the rules that we had gone through, and sort of a draft ordinance based upon what Redwood was doing. And so I've included that in your packet, and just need to know what your guidance and directions if we're gonna move forward on this. There's some ordinances that we're gonna have to, that are on the books right now that we'll have to change. And the main thing I think is the process. How we're going to permit people to shoot, and how many are we going to issue, where are they gonna shoot from, and what kind of season are we gonna have, and I don't know what other kind of questions we probably need to have answered as well. Those would be the lead-ins.
Sounding great. Anything from the council right now? Here's your time to ask questions.
How many, didn't I read a report about the DNR saying that they're going to limit hunting permits this fall?
Yeah. They knocked them back.
Because of not as many deer?
I think because of complaints about it. One of the reasons.
Did you say complaints of not enough deer?
Yeah, well, yeah. Hunters are really
Statewide or even in this area?
this area, specifically. I mean,
Really?
they did it, I think, majority statewide, but I think the statewide, consensus was that where the deer. It was common to hear that all fall from hunters that I checked. There's not as many deer as there used to be, until you check the farmer.
Yeah.
He said the opposite.
Are you talking to us?
What did the aerial surveys show?
I'm not sure. They were down a little, but not enough to really concern, I think, wildlife. I don't want to speak for them, but they were down a little bit. But, you know, we've been, for the last, they've had it all the way back where we could take 5 deer, intensive harvest areas. It's been that way for many years now. And so there's a lot of groups that did, you know, guys that did shoot 5 deer. And then we've had a couple tough winters in there on top of that. We had some winter kill. So, I don't think that it's a surprise that we're a little bit down. For most hunters, you know, they go out, yeah, they go out and they normally, you know, years past, they would see 6 to 10 deer, now they're seeing 4 to 6. And, you know, they start sending emails and write letters, and, you know, that's how things happen, I guess. So, the only 2 areas, there's 3 areas down here that are intensive harvest, which means you can take 5 deer. One is 346, one is 349, and the other one is up in Rochester. The rest of the southeast is all 1 deer area now, which is a big change.
It used to be what?
It's always been at least a 2 deer or a 5 deer for many years. And because of the concerns, I think, they pulled the reins in on that and changed everything except for most of Houston County, part of Winona County, and Rochester, back to just a 1 deer. Those are the only areas you can shoot 5 deer now, those 3 in the southeast. Used to be the whole southeast, you know, 7, 8 years ago.
It's what do you think will be the effect on the deer population, or how will the change in the habitat on the 2 bluffs that overlook the city where the goats are deforesting? You know, what will
Well, here's
long range?
your problem this year. Here's your problem this year is 43 splits 349 and 348 in permit areas. If they go on the east side of 43, it's a five deer limit. They go on the west side, 43, it's a 1 deer limit.
Doesn't 16
Pardon me?
define, doesn't Highway 16 define the northern boundary of 349?
It doesn't matter because the zone to the north is hunter's choice as well.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know how it would affect that specific area because in that area, it's gonna be a 1 deer limit. On the east side of town, it's gonna be 5 deer if you choose to do that. So that's, you know.
We're not.
The
we're
problem
not
is most
necessarily-
hunters aren't gonna burn their tag right away on a doe. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, guys are gonna look for bucks, that's just the way it is. Especially archery hunters. They're usually guys that look for horns. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. And so I don't see a bunch of them signing up to jump in there to burn their tag on a doe when that's the only place they can, that's the only thing they can kill.
So if they shoot a deer, a doe, say in Rushford, on Muggelson Bluff, that effectively, even though would be a special season?
Nope,
It's a
they would have to
special
hunt
Rushford
within
season.
well, that's up to you guys. Let's not get ahead of the horse here. There's 3 different ways you can affect a hunt here, from my understanding. One is you can allow archery hunting in the city. Okay, you say, okay, we're gonna allow archery hunting. 2 is you can make it a special hunt, which involves getting wildlife involved, and they come down and look at your situation, and you could possibly get extra tags for that. But if you do that, then this is listed, Rushford is listed as a special hunt. And it goes in the book as Rushford is a special hunt. Which means you will get phone calls saying, from somebody from the city saying, hey, I wanna come down to Rushford special hunt. Where can I go?
Like Ripley.
Like Ripley, like Redway, okay? And I think Redway, and then the other way is to have shooting permit. So you have people that shoot. Well, for cities, you need to apply for that, and that is, the city has to come up with a management study. And I believe they even have to fly aerial surveys to some extent. Those are the 3 ways you can deal with deer in the city limits. The easiest, obviously, is allow archery hunting, because that's, you don't have to deal with the state a whole lot on that.
And do it concurrently with the state season.
You have to if you do it that way. There is no special regulations, there's no special tags that they can get unless you go to that second stance, which is gonna be a special hunt. That's why I wouldn't call it a special hunt, I would say you're allowing archery hunting in the city.
You have to do it for the full time for archery hunting, or can we block off a 2-week period or something like that?
It's under ordinance, so that would be up to you. It's under
So we could
ordinance.
do it for a 2-week period.
So if you wanted to have
within the
an ordinance that you're gonna allow archery hunting from November 1st through the end of November, yeah.
Okay.
You can't be you can't open it up wider than the state, but you can make it
You
narrower.
can't put it here.
Yeah. So,
So then we gotta break out the territory they can be in the city.
well, you don't have, that's up to you guys. That's up to you guys where you're gonna allow them to go and where you're not gonna allow them to go. You know, the questions you're gonna have is why can't I go here, why can't I go there, can I sit in my backyard?
That's the number 1 thing I'm worried about, is
and-
if we just pass a deer ordinance, I just wanna make sure people don't just think you can sit on the back porch and shoot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really worried about.
Okay, and that's something to be concerned about. You're gonna have deer that die in somebody's yard. And that, you're not gonna get away from that.
They're constantly low deer.
Yeah, like,
That's just
you
gonna
mean deer dying in somebody else's yard?
Yeah,
I think
that's-
you
right.
shot
Oh,
at
yeah.
that, yeah, that's.
That'll happen,
Or
it's happened in
traffic.
Red Wing, you know, you shoot a deer
Yeah.
through the
Or
horns of a
not
bow and arrow, it
traffic.
runs 100 yards, and it's dead, you know, wherever. But it's gonna be on somebody else's property, and, you know, just, that's gonna happen, you're just not gonna get away
How
from
do
it.
those issues for retrieval, how are they typically handled?
You know, I don't know. Red Wing is probably the longest standing one in the southeast that's had it.